Hello everybody. Long time no see. I'm back. It's been a few years, but what a few years it's been. Um, I've been, yeah, it's taken a while, but I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work in the last year and a half, particularly to, I'm just gonna be honest, to deal with my personality and the way in which I was wired, and coming to a lot of understanding about dismissive avoidance, fearful avoidance, about just how my mind works, my traumas, my trauma responses, the ways in which I used um, unhealthy techniques to move forward in the world. And I'm grateful for all the work, um, because it's really making a difference. I feel like I'm ready. So anyway, I'm starting this back up again. And uh, the first project is bringing the Council of Animals back to Burning Man. So I have restarted the Patreon. I've got a store going, which is very exciting. Actually, I have a store, and I haven't had one of these up in a long time. There's a variety of things that you can pick from. These T-shirts, some stickers, and some artworks. And these T-shirts, I've set the prices so that we're getting about $20 a shirt. And when I say we, I mean the camp. There's just a lot of expenses involved in bringing art to Burning Man, and I'm also excited to share this T-shirt and excited to see it out in the world. All of these shirts actually. But if there's anything that you want, like, oh, I want the sticker on a T-shirt, or I want this in a different color, or you want to order some art, but you want it a little different, let me know. These are all built one at a time. I currently have in stock the elephant head and a polar bear head. The polar bear and the pony, both are a limited run of 10, and I've sold one pony. And yeah, they're lovely. Um, but hopefully we can get some of this going. and then and then there's Patreon and also just PayPal and like getting back to like fundraising is interesting. I've been I had this has always taken a plurality of people to achieve, and when I'm say things like we involved with the art, I really mean we. I mean all the people and their ideas, because I work in a very in the moment, very fluid sort of way. I can be very stubborn about what I want to do, but if someone has a good idea, it's immediately incorporated into the art. And I just want to make sure that everyone who's ever helped me in any way, I appreciate you so much. I could not do this without you. And this year, there's a crew of, I think there's 7 of us all together that are going to be camping together. And anyway, so yeah, offset expenses is what I keep saying. I know it's going to cost me money, but I'm prepared for that. But because this message is so important. And yeah, what we're looking at here is the presentation at Burning Man 2022. And the message behind this piece is that we're one family on this planet. All life is related. I mean, this should just be obvious. This should be basic understanding. And yet, I grew up being told that humans were a separate thing, that the animals were one thing and humans were another. That's just not true. We are all related intimately through our DNA, through our shared experiences, and their experiences and our experiences, they're equally valid. Like we're all life is having an experience, and I'm not trying to paint nature as some kind of loving environment. In nature, you will get run down and eaten while you're still alive. That's the natural way to go. But there's a beauty in that, and there's an honesty in that, and they should be allowed to eat each other in peace. And just as we should be allowed to uh, go to parties in peace or whatever we're doing. I don't know. I don't really like the idea of people eating each other, but you know. Anyway, I don't want to get too okay. I've already ruined it by saying things like that. But this message that we are one life on this planet, and it's up to we're making the decisions now, and we need to include the animals in our dialogues about the future. That's really what I'm asking, what I'm hoping for with this piece. And bringing it to Burning Man is really powerful, and I'm really excited to do that and get the piece going again. And some of what we're doing here is enabling the piece to travel further as well. It's been sitting for a couple of years. The truck needs help, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's just go to what we're going to do for coming up. So this is what it looked like in 2022. Obviously, the most glaringly apparent thing is Ruth's big chunk of missing ear. That's been repaired. Her ears are now well braced and aren't going to break and flutter off on the way down there, which was, you know, an unexpected consequence. And just another general view. But you know, physically, the footprint is largely the same. Coyote's going to get some work done. Coyote's got to go under the knife, get his head cut off so that his eyeballs will actually be installed for real. And to do that, I have to cut his head off. And the deal I've made with him is that I'll cut his head off, but I'm going to make him a really nice neck. The neck is never satisfied. It's a little too clunky. I want to give it, you know, I've been doing more organic work and I want to do a nice copper neck. And we'll see how that goes. I don't have a lot of experience hammering copper, but I'm going to go for it and try and get him looking a little fancier. The elephant, there's some interior work to do. The rhino, possibly some interior work too, if I can get to that. The polar bear, one of his toenails broke off on the trip across the country, so I had to weld that back on, but he's pretty ready to go. Somewhere in here I have some... yeah, so there was also shade with benches underneath it. Those benches are all broken and falling apart. So I've got new benches that I built for DC. We built, actually. Ron and I built. Ron was a big... Thank you, Ron. There I was talking about saying we, and I'm saying I. The benches, and I'll show you the picture of those in a minute. And there's the elephant interior. Here's Derby climbing in there with my water bottle. I have photographic evidence. But the elephant has a partially fitted out interior. It was there's a wooden floor in there, very nicely fitted. Thank you, Ankin Derby. But you can see it was a little grim in there, a little dusty, little. You know, there's a bit of an altar, but it was never really finished. But so we're gonna do a better job there, and I've got Gwen Darling and Leah Pizarro coming up to help me with that. And the goal there is to really embrace the Divine Mother, make that a sacred space in there that's comfortable to hang out in. Right now we're talking about felting and nests and making it a comfortable and warm space to go and chill out in and contemplate your mother and the roles that mothers play, which are, you know, we couldn't do life without them. Anyway, yeah, so let's look at the benches. Let's see, I had that queued up here somewhere. I've tried to make this video a few times and I keep clicking on the wrong things and cutting the audio off and stuff, so I'm getting a little tired. But anyway, here is the Council of Animals in Washington, D.C. Thank you, people, for the ethical treatment of animals, for making this possible. Really significant chapter in my development as an artist to bring this piece to DC. You can start to see the benches in the background. So these exist, and they've been up at Barter Fair, and of course they blow over. They were secured in DC with these concrete blocks and just strapped to those. And maybe that's a good plan for Burning Man, although it involves transporting another 1,000 pounds or something. So I might try to anchor them or guide them off, but I think they need shade wrapped around the back section as well, like they have on the top, just to cut the wind blowing through them. But they're there and just need some work. Polar bear, elephant. Oh, and there's Miss Chicken. And the animals were very cleaned up for DC. Fixie did an amazing job wire wheeling the rhino. That has since faded into a bit of a rust patina. The elephant, I'd like to get the rust wire wheeled off and blacken her so that she's back to looking presentable. Although she looks great now. So if I don't get to that, I don't think it will make that much of a difference. And the thing about steel is it's constantly evolving. Whereas Miss Chicken is aluminum and will stay super bright. I mean, I'm really excited to bring Miss Chicken to the playa. She's really excited to go to the playa. She's got a lot of things to talk about. You people out there are just eating way too many of her babies. um, and then the other thing, we'll go past a bunch of kids here, is the lighting and getting that playa friendly. I've got these solar lights and made little kits for them. Thank you, Lala, for that idea. But the batteries have gotten weak in them, and I don't know where the remotes are, and I have some work to do to get those working again. But that'll be like the backup, like it'll turn on for sure, and then we might need a bit of a battery bank. Oh, there's me, and there's how big they are. I'm just trying to get some lighting. But Coyote didn't have any fire in DC. There was Michelle made a very nice flicker bulb effect, but we'll have propane burning up here, and that really makes a nice scene. And yeah, so there's just a lot of expenses, a lot of work to do, and but not as much as in years past, honestly. Like there's uh, it's really nice to be at a point where I have a piece that just needs finishing to bring to Burning Man. The the first video. So I'm going to start doing bi-weekly updates. I think weekly might be too much, but let me know about what I'm up to with this council project. And the first video is me working on the truck because that's what you have to do. I do not want to be on the side of the road outside of Gerlach trying to find a radiator, which I had. That's a place I've been. So the truck's got was swapping in a radiator, and that'll be the first update video for getting ready. And also in the truck is a transmission that's starting to slip in first and second, and not sure. I think it would make it there and back. I think there's a lot of hills, but the council's not super heavy, but I want to make sure I get that dealt with. And transmission, a good used transmission is $2,500. A rebuilt one is considerably more. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that'll be the first update video. And yeah, anyway, long story short, I'm back. I'm building momentum. I'm happy to be here. Really grateful to be here. Really looking forward to bringing more art out into the world and making a difference. Particularly with the Council of Animals. It's intended to change the world, and it needs to be out to do that. And to get it out costs money. And the way I like to do art is to get everyone involved and make it possible. So that's what I'm looking for is help in any way that I can find it. And I'm very grateful for it. And I'm tired. I've tried to do this video 3 or 4 times, and I keep remembering things I should have said, and then I look down and the audio is not recording. And anyway, this is where we're at, and look forward to the summer. All right, thank you.